sun, you could have stayed. It's only over when the day is done. I never knew you was a runner, yeah. I mistook you for a son. It don't matter what we think when it's all over. 'Cause this is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah. This is our last chance to leave it all behind. Raise your voice and raise your power, yeah.
Archie, is it fun?
Fun.
Fun.
After me. Ready? Happy?
Happy.
New?
New?
New.
Boom.
Was wrong to say I wouldn't change a thing, 'cause in the story of our lives, the best of times through colored glass, time moves on enough to let me move on past, but every little now and then it creeps on back to shade my smile.
Today is September 23rd. It is 9:10 a.m. I just gave up my computer and I'm in the middle of editing my this morning video. But I'm gonna use my slower computer to do this video because this morning, while in the middle of editing this morning video, I saw on Twitter someone sent me a DM. I just saw someone sent me a message. And it's about Travalyst. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take parts where I saw part of the things that I recorded this morning, put it together for you, and then you guys could see it. But next week you're gonna see the entire today's recording. All right, so this is for you guys. Thanks. I'm not really the type who gave the up-to-date, the latest information, but since I have it, it's not really a big deal. So I thought I'd share it with you. I already put a note on my community board letting you guys know about it. And when I was reading it, some of you like some polls when I put polls and things like that. So I'll see. Right now is term of timing. It's timing that preventing me to do a lot of things. You know, some crazy stuff, fun videos, crazy videos for you guys. It's just timing. But I have the time right now just to only finish that small portion and I'm gonna share it with you. And thank you to the person who DM it to me. Otherwise, I would not know, because as soon as I finished the editing, I was gonna be doing something completely different. All right, thanks for the information.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you for being here. It's great to see so many new faces from the travel world, and well-traveled faces too. Having spent the last night here, I also don't know about you guys, but I actually had the best night's sleep I've ever had in the last 4 months, which is also a pleasure. I want to start with a little bit of background as to specifically why I'm here today. Because as you may know, I'm not a tourism or business expert. But through my travels, I have observed the unique relationship between community and environment, and have noticed something alarming. There wasn't this symbiosis or connection there needed to be, and I wanted to understand why. I'm one of those people fortunate enough to have a platform, and I want to use it to tackle hard problems in the hope of finding solutions. Over the years, I've had the distinct privilege of working around the globe, representing my grandmother, the Queen, throughout the Commonwealth and beyond. This role has given me a unique perspective on the issues the world faces, and an opportunity to meet a diverse range of communities, to hear them describe their problems as well as their ideas for solutions. For years, I've been listening and learning. I never presume to have all the answers, but I do feel impassioned to help in any way that I can. Sometimes that means connecting people and making them aware of the ideas that I've seen succeed in other places. Other times it means bringing a problem home and working it through with true experts who have dedicated their lives to protecting our planet, or with influential people who can give time and or money in big or small ways. One thing I've learned, however, again and again, is that oftentimes the best solution comes from within, from the local community members who live and breathe it every day. There is one moment that stands out in my memory from a trip I made back in 2012 while representing my grandmother in the Caribbean. As I walked to the boat to observe a coral reef replanting project, I had a 7-year-old come up to me, tug my shirt, and say with such conviction, "Because of your country, my country's coral reef is dying." This boy, despite his age, had touched on a powerful truth. He already understood that the environmental damage caused to the reef was created by the actions of people outside of his country. And he was absolutely spot on. His words deeply affected me because they revealed the full impact outsiders can have on a community without even realizing it. At the time, his comment did not register as tourism related, but it did make me want to understand better the relationship between those of us that travel and the places that we visit. And perhaps not just when we travel, but in our everyday actions and habits too. Some problems are highly visible, others are not. The latter are perhaps even more damaging as out of sight, out of mind creeps in. As travelers, we often don't see the long-term impact we have on a destination, unless perhaps we revisit the same areas regularly. After seeing and experiencing the degradation of a few of my favorite places, where natural assets are depleted and communities left feeling defeated, I knew something had to be done. Over the last 10 years, as I have developed my work in conservation, I have learned so much from the experiences I've had and the people that I've met in places like Botswana and the Caribbean, Nepal, and New Zealand. What is clear across this vast landscape is that our world faces environmental challenges of unprecedented scope and scale. From deforestation and the loss of biodiversity to ocean plastics and poaching, the problems can sometimes seem too big to fix. These human-caused challenges often need a giant system shift to make a significant enough impact, and that is what this partnership is here to try and do. But just because it is such a massive undertaking doesn't mean we can't all play our part. Sometimes the scale of the conservation crisis feels overwhelming and that individual actions can't make a difference. I've certainly felt that, but I've learned that we cannot dismiss the idea of trying to do something just because we can't do everything. We can all do better, and while no one is perfect, we all have a responsibility for our own individual impact. The question is what we do to balance it out. So today, after 2 years of behind-the-scenes conversations and planning, we're going to start with the tourism industry. So let's first define the problem at hand. Sometimes when we appreciate the world's beauty, we heighten its fragility. It's a paradox. But in our enthusiasm, we can put great strain on the natural wonders we travel to see, as well as the communities that call these places home. In 2000, the number of trips taken by people around the world has more than doubled. We will reach 1.8 billion international trips by 2030, doubling the number of trips made annually in the last 20 years. The negative impacts of mass tourism and unsustainable tourism are increasingly in the news, thanks to the reporting of many of you in this room. You've seen it, I've seen it, and here we are in the city of Amsterdam, which joins a growing list of places like Venice and Barcelona that have become overwhelmed by crowds. Maya Bay in Thailand, which was made famous by the film The Beach, has been so besieged that its reefs have died. Its bioluminescent waters have filled with trash, and its bay will be closed to tourists until at least 2021. Then there's Nepal, which recently had to remove approximately 12 tons of waste that climbers left on the slopes of Mount Everest. And throughout high tourism spots in Africa, safari vehicle traffic jams are beginning to outnumber the very wildlife that travelers hope to see in their natural habitats. As tourism inevitably increases in the years ahead, its dangers will increase accordingly. And this worries me, as I'm sure it does to you too. But the silver lining is that this grave threat is also a great hope. We have the opportunity to address this tourism paradox and turn one of the world's biggest problems into one of its greatest solutions. Tourism can be a source of opportunity for communities that might not otherwise find it. Tourism can strengthen the local economy, and tourism drives improvements in the quality of life for so many. In some cases, it is all they have. It accounts for 10% of global GDP and about 1 in 10 jobs worldwide, figures that will continue to grow in the coming years. This is the scale of the opportunity. There are positive trends in the travel industry as well. 7 in 10 travelers say they want more sustainable travel options. A wide majority say that they want their money spent on travel to positively impact local communities. And these are more than just personal preferences. They're global trends. It's estimated that by 2023, the global sustainable tourism market will grow by about $340 billion. People are speaking up. They want to see the world, but they also want to know that with all the good that they take home, souvenirs, memories, photos, that they leave just as much good behind. They want a paradigm shift, and I believe one is coming. I believe we can and we must find new ways to minimize the dangers and maximize the opportunities of tourism. More and more people will travel, and we can't stop that, nor would we want to, because it truly opens our minds and broadens our horizons. We seek to appreciate what is different and to find what connects us. Travel expands our understanding of the world. It certainly breaks down barriers and preconceptions, but it also offers us an escape. It can also deepen our sense of obligation to this borrowed place that we call home. When astronauts look down at Earth from above, they speak of an overview effect, a realization that our planet is both singular and fragile. And when we travel, we realize the same thing. And that is why we'll need to work together, across sectors, borders, cultures, and generations, to reorientate the entire travel industry towards sustainability and equity, into mainstream rather than niche. Today, I am proud to announce the launch of a global partnership that will do just that. It will help make tourism work for the world. It will help strengthen communities and ecosystems for generations to come. It will turn travel into a catalyst for transformative change. So, I am proud to announce Travalyst. Travalyst is a first-of-its-kind coalition, a united front of businesses dedicated to making travel an engine for sustainability. The founding partners, who are represented here today, include some of the leaders and heavy hitters of the global travel industry: Booking.com, Ctrip, Skyscanner, TripAdvisor, and Visa. These are organizations that can really make waves, and the tide is changing, so surf's up. Too much? We are, of course, incredibly happy to have them on board, and to join in partnership, not only with one another, which was surprisingly easy, but also with Sussex Royal, the foundation that my wife and I are launching in 2020. In a moment, I'll invite the leaders from the partner companies to tell you why they've agreed to join. But first, I want to tell you why I'm so excited about this partnership. I've seen so many great conservation projects struggle, not because they weren't noble or worthwhile, but because they didn't get buy-in from the organizations that could really make a difference. On day one, Travalyst has that buy-in, and we're determined to use it. Over the next few years, these companies have committed to using their global role to drive systemic change. These companies have direct relationships with millions of travelers and businesses, and deep connections with countless communities. Leveraging their position at the center of travelers, operators, and consumers, they are perfectly placed to help make the travel industry vastly more sustainable for all of us. But we're not just going to use that institutional buy-in, we're going to use it right. As we know, there is no one-size-fits-all solution to the environmental challenges facing our world. Every community, of course, is different. Different in geography, geology, and ecology. Different in language and culture, and in government structure. But there is one way in which almost all communities are similar. They know what they need to thrive if we back them. With the tools, support, and opportunity, they will be able to implement effective and sustainable solutions themselves. Travalyst will help to provide that support by working together with the people on the ground, tailoring our efforts to what we hear and measuring impact at the community level. Because communities will be at the center of everything we do, and we're not going to reinvent the wheel. By harnessing the power of the private sector, Travalyst will complement some of the great work already being done by NGOs, activists, governments, and multilateral organizations across the world. Over the next few years, the members of Travalyst will work together to create incentives for organizations and destinations to do right by the places, spaces, and animals that we all need to protect. At the same time, they'll be making consumers aware of more off-the-beaten-track places to share the impact as well as the benefits with local communities. We know that it can be hugely overwhelming out there as we are inundated with information, varying standards, and data. But the role of Travalyst is to simplify that, to make travel choices easier and better. And lastly, returning to the point I made a moment ago, Travalyst will work to make sure that tourism substantially contributes to the long-term interests of communities, who in turn will be incentivized to safeguard those destinations. As it stands in rural communities, especially in developing countries, the overwhelming majority of money spent by tourists leaks away before it can make a lasting impact. We have to change that. If conducted responsibly, tourism can benefit communities for generations. It can build schools, create jobs, strengthen safety nets, and it can create a virtuous cycle as communities protect what further promotes tourism. Sustainability and economic stability, we believe, are two sides of the same coin. After all, healthy ecosystems are the lifeline for all of us. By promoting and incentivizing sustainable decision-making, by helping us as consumers stay better informed, and by empowering communities, Travalyst will strive to change both the travel industry and the world for the better and for the long term. Thank you.
And I see there's a message that's sent 2 hours ago. Someone shared something with me. All right, that's this. What is that? Okay, y'all, I love how Meghan and Harry trend no matter where they go or what they do, talk about relevance. Wait till the world also realize that Prince Harry just pick up Google as a Travalyst partner. Today is going to be a fun day. Okay, really, where can I find it? That's recently. All right, let's see here. Google joined the no, thank you. I didn't even know this. Because I'm doing some old tweet that I didn't finish. Okay, so this is as recent as it comes. Thank you for sending that to me. Google joined the Travalyst Coalition. Travalyst Sustainable Tourism, Google joined the coalition as partner alongside existing founder partners Booking.com, Skyscanner, Trip.com Group, TripAdvisor, and Visa. Oh my goodness. Damn, our fave USF. Okay, I guess USA. Okay, that's supposed to be USA. Keep winning. They are blessed. What? Let's go into this, and I'll leave the link in the description. Thank you for sending it to me. Okay, it's very short. Okay, Google joined the Travalyst Coalition, London, September 22, 2021. All right, Travalyst, the global sustainable travel coalition, today announced that Google will be joining its coalition as a partner alongside existing founding partner Booking.com, Skyscanner, Trip.com Group, TripAdvisor, and Visa. The Travalyst Coalition strives to leverage its collective reach and help drive mass adoption of sustainability standard. We're excited to continue this endeavor with Google as a member of Travalyst Coalition, delivering on this unique opportunity to build positive, transformative change in travel. The Google Travel team has committed globally to helping consumers make more sustainable travel choices, and their approach aligns strongly with Travalyst collaboration principles, said Chief Executive Office of Travalyst, Sally Davy. As I was reading this, two things came to mind. I'm thinking there's an African country that someone went out of his way when he didn't see his country or his area on the map. I forgot where I read that, and which country it was, which African country it was. He went a long way to do that too. And there was something else that came to mind. Well, I don't know. I lost it. All right, let me continue. Travalyst is working to achieve the broadest industry alignment possible on sustainability and travel and tourism. This started by bringing together some of the world's largest travel and tourism platform and service providers, which are sometimes competitors, to tackle one of the greatest challenges the industry faces through collaboration. All right, Google joining the group represents a significant step forward in that mission as a collaboration of some of the biggest brands in the world. The Travalyst Coalition is working together on sustainability initiatives that drive system change and lead to a resilient and thriving future for the travel and tourism industry for generations to come. Addressing the challenge of climate change requires us to find solutions at scale, and this is especially true when it comes to travel and tourism. By working with Travalyst, our industry partner, we aim to build tools and technology enable travelers and businesses around the world to prioritize sustainability, said Kate Brand, Chief Sustainability Officer at Google. One of the things that I was thinking is that Google is very slick, and I don't know if Google has anything in terms of traveling or if it's part of the you could book hotel or something like that. I don't know. They're very slick. They're throwing themselves in the group because they don't want to be left behind. But when you look at it in a broader sense, what Harry and with Travalyst is doing is that it's a competition now. All right, it's the same kind of tactic that he used. I believe it was Heads Together or something. I believe where where he was talking about you could go in different. If they're doing the same thing, you could choose which one. If you have a problem with certain things, I forgot how he put it. If I find the clip on the Obama Foundation, that's the same tactic here.
Doesn't this seem obvious? Like, why haven't other people done it then? So you've created, with your brother and sister-in-law, the Royal Foundation. Okay, you've started a charity. My first question would be, do we need another charity? So, what was your thinking in coming together? Whose idea was this?
So that's my motto is exactly that. Why another charity? Our foundation is not another charity. We're not trying to take up any more space. I think we all agree that the charity sector is quite full at the moment. But as I said, what we're trying to do is use our platform to be able to bring people together to affect change.
So why haven't other people done this?
Because I genuinely believe that we as a foundation will never be able to compete with some of the other big foundations financially. as weird as that may sound, but that's fact. What we do have is a unique ability to be able to put our name and everything that comes with to a really good purpose, to a really good cause. And as I said, there are many organizations out there that have never come together and that would never sit around a table and discuss the topic of which they're all involved with, but we've proven that. We've made that possible.
So in some ways, you're leveraging your name, it seems to me. Does this create something very, very unique to you and your brother and sister-in-law, in that you can get these people to come together and talk to each other? Because working together is hard.
Yeah, well, it's hard working together as a family. It's hard working together. And it's hard working together when you are scrapping for the same money within the same sector, as a lot of people know. But through some of the initiatives that we've created, Invictus Games, as an example, that brought together 10, 12 different service charities to be able to share expertise, share knowledge, share experience, specifically around mental health, so that they were all standardization across the board to make sure that whatever the best practice was, everybody was sharing that. And therefore, if there's a wounded soldier that's left the forces, that's been lost in amongst the chaos of everything else, if they stick their head above the parapet and they go to Help for Heroes, one of the charities in the UK, if that's not for them, like you go to your supermarket, everybody chooses the supermarket that they want to go to. It's the same with the charity sector. And if you've got 101 choices to choose from, every single person is uniquely wired, and therefore their cure or their fix will be specific to them. But what we're able to do is bring everybody together once again around a table and say, right, you're now part of a group, you're part of something. And therefore, anybody that comes in gets the opportunity or the option of 12 of you rather than one of you.
My goodness, this is like I could see the others are going crazy because they cut Harry and Meghan's wings, and there it is. They're flying sky high. Only if they had listened to Harry. Harry had told them to use that opportunity of having Meghan and the team, but no, they went the other way around. And look at this. If they had listened to Harry, this would have been part of the, how do they call this? Of the firm, okay? Because they love money. This would have been part of the firm. They probably will not need the taxpayers' money because they'll be able to sustain themselves with that. How much we wish, right? Wishing. But there's a video that I have. I'll find it and I'll put it at the end here. It's where, who was talking about it? Mark Cuban was talking how Harry and Meghan are the brand to go with. All right, people will die to work with them. All right, so that principle here, I'll put that video here. All right.
Harry and Meghan are incredibly marketable. I'd call them the new young Obamas. They're going to make an ungodly amount of money, and you know what? They literally could become billionaires over the next 20 years. If either of them came on Shark Tank, I wouldn't even wait for them to pitch. I'd be like, I'm in, whatever you want, yes, because they are so marketable. It'll be so easy to develop products and projects for them, with them, and around them. It'd be yes. Can you hook it up?
That's it. Please take a moment to subscribe, like, and share. Thanks for watching.
A little more Meghan and Harry. A little more Meghan and Harry. That's where we're here. Over the shoulder. Hey guys, look back.